On Saturday, the Baltic countries expressed their concern to the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as the former deputy head of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said that these countries provide an air corridor for Ukrainian drones. Is Russia ready to provide evidence of the use of airspace in the Baltic countries? Or is this topic not in the focus of the Kremlin? No, it is not. The fact is that our military and our special services see where and how it flies. This is well known to everyone, and we are not going to prove anything to anyone here. We clearly track the sources of threat for our border areas and deeper territories. Therefore, we know all this perfectly well. No one should have any doubts.
Dmitry Sergeyevich, may I?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. According to our sources, on the Azov Sea, on Friday there are temporary restrictions for shipping and for security reasons related to the attacks of Ukrainian drones on ships. Is this true? Can you confirm this information? Is it within the scope of the President's attention? Thank you.
The issue of shipping in the Azov Sea is a priority of the Ministry of Transport, and I recommend that you refer to it. All aspects related to the Ministry of Transport, of course, are not in the field of the President's and the Supreme Commander-in-Chief's attention. He receives all the information and makes the appropriate decisions. One more question, please. Thank you. Yes.
Hello, Anastasia Tyosha. The European Commission recommended to the European Agency for Culture Education to deprive the Venice Biennale of funding for the Russian pavilion. Can you tell us, please, how the Kremlin assesses such actions? Can they be effective? Do you think that the West is successful in its attempts to fight Russian culture, or these actions do not give them the desired results?
Of course, attempts to suppress Russian culture and any manifestations of Russian culture in the West take place everywhere, unfortunately. This is a sad phenomenon, an attempt to cross out Russian culture, one of the richest civilizational cultures on Earth. Russian culture has always been a source of mutual enrichment for Russia and for the countries where it was present. Yes, there are still some manifestations of our culture abroad, but they are under terrible pressure. As for the Venice Biennale, I can only express my regret. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the organizers who have been and continue to cooperate with our representatives. I would also like to congratulate them on the fact that they are free from the current dominance in Europe. I would also like to express my regret that attempts to suppress our culture continue to take place in other countries. Anything else?
Thank you. Komsomolskaya Pravda. May I, Dmitry Sergeyevich?
You may, please.
Alexander Gamov, Komsomolskaya Pravda. A number of foreign media outlets, particularly the Israeli 12th channel, claim that an assassination attempt was made on Trump at the NATO summit in Ankara. As it turned out later, this is why the US president, we all saw it on TV, flew back on his old plane, where anti-missile equipment was located. How would you comment on this fact? I understand that this is a specific topic, but maybe the US Special Services...
I would not comment on this message in any way, because I do not have such information, and I do not know how trustworthy this Israeli source is. Anything else?
Thank you. Dmitry Sergeyevich, hello. France Press, Maria Panina.
You are welcome.
A coalition of volunteers will hold a summit in Paris today, which, according to the Élysée Palace, is intended to boost support for Ukraine and boost pressure on Russia. Will they monitor this event in the Kremlin? And how could you comment on it?
Of course. I would say that this is a coalition of war instigators. This is a coalition of war instigators. This is a group of countries that do not want peace, but want a continuation of the war, and enjoy the deepest delusion of the possibility of a strategic defeat for our country. Therefore, this is a coalition of delusional people and a coalition of war instigators. Of course, we will monitor very closely. These are the countries that carry out hostile actions against us. Therefore, we will monitor very closely.
Поэтому следить будем очень внимательно.